Hey, hello and good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's had a good weekend so far. So far, it's a little chilly Sunday morning in Cincinnati. Just wanted to kind of get back on here. It's been a couple days since I've done a video, but college football. We've been blessed with, like I said, a really good season this year, and it really continued into yesterday with some pretty good games. Obviously, the SEC, the majority of the SEC top-heavy teams did have a bye week, so-called, as they're playing, obviously lesser opponents. Clemson did the same, so I'm not just bashing just the SEC. Clemson ended up playing, I think it was the Citadel. I mean, and that does nothing. That simply gets nothing accomplished in my eyes. But, I mean, it is what it is. So far now, still we have, there's 4 undefeated teams left. Alabama, Wisconsin, the U, and Central Florida. So if everything holds out, I mean, there's a good chance you're going to see, obviously, those 3, or the first 3 in the college football playoff. Obviously, stranger things have happened, but, looks like South or Central Florida. I'm sorry, not South Florida. UCF will be. They should be in a New Year's Six bowl, so that'll be good. Really good on them for their fantastic season thus far. Let's see here. I'm trying to think when I was going to talk about the U. They were in a battle last night or yesterday afternoon against Virginia. The Cavaliers were, they came to play some football, and Miami, they were down. They were, they struggled a little bit, but the U, Mark Richt, love Mark Richt as a coach. I think he's one of the best in the country. Definitely, I think he's. I mean, it's hard to say he's an underrated coach when, coming from. Crossing a river. River looks ugly. But when you're coming from a big program like Georgia, going back to Miami, it's hard to say that a coach is underrated, but I just think he's maybe underrated is not the word, but underappreciated might be the best way to put it. I think Mark Richt is a great coach, and you can see what he's done so far. Even with Al Golden there before him, Al Golden, I thought did a good job for what, for the cards he was dealt. I thought Al Golden was, did an admirable job at the U. But, Mark Richt, he's come in and he's definitely taken this program back to the next level so far. And right now they're sitting 3rd in the country, undefeated, spot in the ACC championship against Clemson. That date's looming. They've got Pittsburgh next week. And then a date with Clemson in the ACC championship, which, this Miami team, I'm telling you, if they can stay on track, they are a very good football team and can be a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to watch. So, that was one that, watching them yesterday against Virginia, and them having to battle back numerous times, and then obviously I believe they scored 40 unanswered, which is, that's absolutely incredible. For any team, but they, that pick 6 really got things going for them. You give up that long touchdown right at the end of the half. That's deflating to a team going into the halftime, and go in the locker room just after giving up a touchdown to a team that you're supposed to beat. It's just things just aren't looking good at that point in time, and it's really deflating. But then to come out and it open up the quarter, then you get a pick 6, and then things roll from there, and that's what happened. And Miami definitely fed off that, and they did a great job of continuing to roll. Once that momentum got on their side, they were not going to let Virginia have it back, or even remotely try to take it back. And good on Coach Richt and the staff at Miami to really keep it going. That turnover chain was in full force yesterday. So it's great having a team like Miami back. And I'm not the only person who said it, but I definitely echo the sentiments that college football is good when the big programs are back. I know Ohio State fans laughed a lot when Michigan was, struggling the last couple years. But when Michigan's good, college football's good. When Miami's good, college football's good. Oklahoma, Texas, obviously USC, those big programs, when they're back and playing well, it makes college football a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not here to say that that the small programs, it's not fun when they make noise or win, because that's not it at all. But when the big programs are winning and they're making some waves, it's a lot of fun. It's great to see, and that's the case right now with the U. That swagger is back in South Beach. It's great. It's a lot of fun. So, speaking of swagger, let's transition over to Baker Mayfield, a guy who I have been. I'm a big fan of him, and I was a big fan of him after he knocked off, or he and Oklahoma knocked off Ohio State earlier, and he planted that flag in the middle of the Ohio State field. That was, I thought that was really good. A lot of Ohio State fans were not happy with that. I get it, but my thing is, don't let them beat you on your home field. A lot of it was revenge for Ohio State singing Carmen, Ohio, after they knocked off OU a couple years back, and Oklahoma had a score to settle, and they did. And Baker Mayfield, he's got a swagger to him that there's something about that I love it. And the guy's a gamer. He's intense. And he's damn talented. He really is. He's not just a Johnny Manziel player. I don't think he is. Yeah, he's not that tall. But some other quarterbacks aren't either. But he just continues to make plays, and he's a guy that I want leading my football team. And that swagger showed yesterday. I don't know if you saw it or not, but the coin toss, as Oklahoma traveled to Lawrence, Kansas, to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Baker, he's out there and he goes to extend his hand for a handshake, and none of the Kansas players, they just ignore him. They shun him, and it was they were having none of it. And Baker was like, all right, and so it was like game on. And they took a couple cheap shots at him. There was the one in particular where he got smoked after throwing a pass. Guy came in, left his feet. He really lunged at him, laid him out. Cheap shots like that, which were uncalled for. And that's I don't care if you like a player or not, or what the case is. That stuff does not need to be. It does not need to be happening. And but Baker came out and. He lit up the Kansas secondary, as well he should, because it's the Kansas Jayhawks. They are, not a very good football team. They haven't been for years. They had one blip on the radar where they were, a really good team. But other than that, they haven't really done squat. And one of the things Baker Mayfield said, I believe to the fans, he mouthed, "You have one win, stick to basketball." And that's an extremely true statement there for a guy who I think should win the Heisman Trophy. I think Baker Mayfield right now is the best player in the country. There's other guys. Saquon Barkley's done well. J.T. Barrett has been, very good. Bryce Love as well. But to me, it's Baker Mayfield's to lose. I thought he's just been superb all season. But yeah, I mean, it's the swagger that Mayfield brings to the table is great. He did make an obscene gesture towards the Kansas bench, and he mouthed a few choice words to him. Honestly, but then he comes out and apologizes. Honestly, I've got nothing wrong with it. I mean, if people know me, I tend to. I've got a little bit more swagger and edginess than most players do. I've always been like that in sports. I've got a little bit of a mouth, so I mean, when it comes to sports, that's how I am. But I personally didn't see anything wrong with it. Again, there was a tweet that I quoted it this morning. It was really good that if a team mocked me, didn't shake my hand at the beginning, you know, and took some cheap shots at me. Of course, I'm going to come back with a little bit of swagger like that. So I don't blame him at all. I really don't. You know, good on him. He's had to come out and apologize for other things. The planting the flag in the middle of Ohio Stadium, I thought was ridiculous. There's no reason you need to apologize for something like that. But you know, it is what it is. I guess the coaching staff is making him do that. I don't think that was really on him. But you know, hey, if that's the case, then so be it. But I don't think he needs to apologize for anything like that. Just continue to go out there and play your game. Continue to show why you are the best player in the country, and you know, continue to play hard and show coaches and GMs in the NFL why you deserve to be picked very high, because I think he should. I think he's got the chance to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. If he just continues to work on it and work hard, I think he'll be fine. I don't think he'll be like a Johnny Manziel, who went south due to other things outside of football, obviously the drugs and the alcohol and everything like that, which is, you know, it's a whole other story. But again, like I said, good on Baker Mayfield for showing some emotion, some swagger. I love it, absolutely love it. So this is going to wrap it up here for me. I've been kind of long-winded here so far this morning, but I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your weekend, and as always, check me out. I am Chris Asbrock on Twitter. Also check out my YouTube page, Chris Asbrock, as well. Stay tuned, because later on today I'll be doing the post-game video for the Bengals-Broncos game. So, as always, thank you guys so much for your support, and have yourselves a fantastic Sunday. Thank you.